Alright, hey everybody. Hope your Wednesday's going good so far. I guess we'll just jump right into it. Don't really have any announcements today. I guess I should check the Ludum Dare website and see if some votings have been closed. This is gonna make me log in, isn't it? Nope, they're all still open, okay. Then I guess we'll just jump right into programming. Okay, so last week we started a bit, or not last week, yesterday we started a bit on the mouse picking algorithm, which that basically means using the mouse pointer to pick a space on the map. And before the stream I went ahead and prepared this sample texture. And this is kind of how mod authors will be able to define all the spaces on a map. So in the game, each of these colors will be its own space, and technically the white will be a space, but the mod author would just denote white as the white space as being unmovable. And so what we want to happen, say the spaces were colored, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that, so that if we hover the mouse right here, then we'd get that we're over space number 6 and space number 0 and so on. So let's go ahead and get started on it. First, so the game data, I'm trying to figure out where to store it. Basically, we need some place to actually store this this model. So I guess we could just excuse me, plop it right here in the game data, or we already have this int for the field model. Yeah, we won't actually use this because I was thinking about it, and probably the actual graphical model that the players will see will be something entirely unrelated to this raycast model, which just tells us the spaces. Because in the final game, pretty much this will be invisible. And so this thing will just have the collider, and it'll be only for raycasting, and yeah, it won't be visible to the player. While the graphical part of the field won't have the collider, so the raycast won't even detect it. And yeah, we'll get to how mods will be able to load that in some future stream. So we have, we already have the space raycast UVs. Maybe we should just rename this whole thing. The field raycast collider. And then we'll just have the model or mesh. So somewhere the raycast UVs will need to be okay, yeah. So we should need to rename this as well. Okay, so yeah, we should move this data out somewhere else. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking, oh, I didn't open. That if so if the play, for example, the play and team building can both view the map, then maybe we should have another group of classes that's just has to do with the map rendering. Okay, so yeah, anything that we'd load from the mod will be in this data class, and then let's see. Then anything in this map package has to do with displaying the map, and so it's accessible both in the play and the team building scene. So so the reason I want to do this is because I want to make a new class. Like I want this field raycast collider to only hold this data, and then we'll have some other class that will actually do this logic. In fact, this part where we set the texture would actually happen during loading, so okay, so let's see. And then probably what we'll do is just create a query like we did for the back in the chess game for the movement options and things. And so you just call the query and pass it the UV, and then it would return the space index. But for now, okay, I guess I'll go ahead and make the loading namespace, and we'll want to move. See, this data will only really be called during the loading phase, so we can move that. So let's call it raycast UV interpreter. Actually, we can go even more. Raycast texture interpreter, I think, is more appropriate. Okay, so I think this will just be a static class. And I guess, yeah, return an array. Pressing the wrong key. So I guess I'll move texture to space indexes. Okay, so this just returns space at pixels. So basically the indexes this returns are in the exact order that it finds them in the texture. Oh, it's in a like... Oh. And that might not be what we want, because the game data, for example, has a list, well, the field actually, a list of spaces, and we want the index here to match up with the index held in the space at pixel. Let's get rid of some of these classes. Okay, so yeah, we can get rid of this, and this class will just become a data class. Alright, so I guess it depends how we want to store the information, because the mod, for example, will somehow need to link these colors to to some space index so that they can supply other information about the spaces, such as what prototype they use. But I guess for now we'll just go with the order that it is in the texture, because we really just want to test mouse picking first of all. Okay, so on this battle generator, okay. We need something else. Testing game data generator. I guess we still have to do that, but okay, so what we'll do here is we'll generate the new game data. Or actually, oh no, this will be fine. We'll just go with it for now. Okay, so first thing we want to do is generate this field raycast information. Say game data or database. Alright, so field raycast, we just set that. Okay, now to load the mesh in this. Let's see. I think I need to move this into the resources folder. Okay, so I guess that's what I'll have to do. Now if you put something in a resources folder in Unity, so I'll just move this, then you can load anything that's in this resources folder during runtime. We don't need this copy. So we'll have to make sure when we're done using this testing to exclude these files from the final build. Alright, so field raycast dot collision mesh equals resources load so it would be resources models test map plane and then test plane. Okay. And then we want to get component mesh render, and then we'll get the shared mesh from here. Or can you not? It's a mesh filter, right? Okay, and then field raycast dot space at pixel equals. Okay, so we'll call this raycast texture interpreter. Alright, and so we'll need to again call resources to get the texture 2D. And this is called the map texture. Alright. Okay, so another thing I know I need to do is I should edit the way this texture is. Handled in Unity. First thing, you want to make sure that read-write is enabled, and probably don't want MIP maps. And then we don't want compression. So this way you'll get crisp colors. So it's not what you'd normally want for a game, like for a final texture for graphics, but it's what you'd definitely want if you're just using the texture for data. Okay, that's fine. The main thing is you need to turn this read-write enabled, or Unity wouldn't be able to read the data out of the texture. Okay, so yeah, let's just try this and see how far we get. So don't actually need this. I'll just turn it off in case I want to look at it again. Okay, object reference not set. Let's see what that is. This is a weird error exception, but I guess this is returning null, or that is returning null. Yeah, here's the mesh filter right here. Let me see if there's a way you're supposed to do this. Unity load mesh from resources. Okay, well this should work. Maybe I could just load the mesh directly? Will that? Okay, so now... Oh, now it's saying the texture is null. Why would that be? So loading a texture 2D, our models test map plane map texture. Maybe I don't need to have this resources folder at the start. Okay, well now it didn't complain. Okay, so one thing I don't need anymore, we don't need these space models. Okay, so I'm gonna create another class. Let's call this collision, or wait, field raycast collider visualizer. So what this will do is basically create a visible mesh in the field. This is a mono behavior. Oops. Clicking the wrong thing. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to copy this over because we'll use something kind of like it. Alright, so we don't need that. important, really. Okay, so we want to get the game data, actually. Well, really all we need is the field raycast. What's the field raycast collider? Alright. So what we're really going to do here is we'll create a new game object. This will be the field raycast collider. Actually, I just realized I'm going to need this script, not necessarily visualize, but to actually create the raycast mesh. Okay, well this raycast collider creator, and for right now I'll just have it temporarily make the mesh visible. So game object dot add component, the mesh filter, and then set shared mesh to the collider.mesh. Then we also need to add a mesh collider object. I'm going to do that just to clean up the scene hierarchy. Okay, so this part is all going to be for testing. Alright, and then renderer dot... Okay, so let's make a new material as well. Maybe, let's wait a sec. I might not need to do this. Alright, so this is the field collider. Put it 0, 0. What did I call this? Why is it not? Raycast. Oh, okay. They have the same name. Alright, there it is. And then I think if I just leave this open, well, I guess let's see what happens. Okay, then the field should have created a mesh. Okay, but it's not rotated the same way. Alright, and that's because this will... Okay, so maybe we should, instead of just using the mesh directly, we should just use a game object. So let's see, game data. So now we'll just create game object. We'll just instantiate that prefab. So let's see. Right, collider, collision mesh, and this will be the parent. Okay, changing around some of the stuff. 3.0, quaternion, identity, and then we'll set this to be the parent. And the only other thing I want to do is change the name to be the fields collider. Okay. Let's go ahead. So this is the collider visualizer, and they should match up. Oh, we got some error. Okay, yeah, so I don't want to load a mesh anymore. Okay, so we'll need to make this prefab. So test plane prefab. Oh, I want to put this at 0. Let's make sure, yeah, that's good. And then I guess I should make sure this is also okay. Alright, so okay, we have the visual plane, and then is the collider matching up? Okay, so it actually has a renderer. Yeah, we don't want to do that. So yeah, this prefab, we actually remove this renderer. But then here we'll want to add the renderer back. Okay. Alright. So do we see the collider? We have to click on the thing itself. Oh, it doesn't have the collider. Okay. So I guess, yeah, we'll need to test plane visualizer. Let's separate this prefab. And here we'll have the mesh collider. It is convex. Oh, why did it get bigger? Okay, so I guess it's not convex. Alright, well, whatever. Looks fine. Matches up with the model. So again, we have two, like, we have the visual model, which still has the collider. I mean, the visual model is separate from the collider. So if we turn off this and turn back on the model, you can see there's no more green outline because there's no collider. And the reason is because in the final game, we'll only load this collider normally, this So the visualizer is just for testing. I don't need that anymore at all. Okay, so now that we got all that finished, we want to do the ray casting. Alright, so before in the chess game we had that one player selection event, so we'll do something like that again. Mouse pick event. And then we'll have public enum mouse pick type. So none space monster. I don't know, we might add more later, but this is it for now. Right now we're really just going to be working on the spaces. So we've got private mouse pick type and private int index. Can't set these from the outside. And then we'll also have private message, which will just be a selection change or change message. This will implement iSubscribable. Pick event, and then I'll do the create static function. And this just changes change message to new. Okay, so on dispose, we just need to pass these functions onto the message. Oh, this is supposed to be unsubscribe. Okay, and so now we'll also have functions to set a type. So public void set select space, and this will be the space index, and so this type becomes space, this index becomes space index, and then we'll call the change message. Well, actually we only want to call that if it's actually a change, so if type does not equal space, okay, probably what we should do, void set select, we'll just have this helper function. So if type does not equal type, or index does not equal index, it's this type. Okay, so if you don't know why it was complaining there, it's because this argument has the same name as the variable in the class, so the compiler was getting confused. If you put this keyword before, then it knows that this argument is, or that variable is referring to this, whereas without the this is referring to the function argument. My little code color also helps visualize that. Change message send. And then here we could just say set select type space and space index. Okay, and we won't worry about the other types for now. Okay, so here let's add so mouse pick raycaster. Oh, did I deleted the dot by accident? Oh, it actually asked that time. So tactical lizard tamer. Set up the class like always. Mono behavior. I guess there's really no reason for this to be a Unity object. I guess it kind of is. Usually on the input side, it's better to keep it out of the game logic, to keep a level of abstraction there, so this is fine. Alright, so okay, so void start. Let's see. And I'll copy some of this stuff over. Alright, and then we'll have a reference to the raycast event. Oh. Didn't rename this. Right, so this would really be up here in the map, because it's not part of the play scene. Neither is this collider creator, really. I want to try and be organized as well as I can. Alright, so yeah, this doesn't have to be... I guess it's still in the user experience because it's an input class. Yeah. I'm used to everything in this being like a mono behavior, but it doesn't have to be. Oh well. This should be a yeah, this Raycaster doesn't have to be in the UX. So it would be, well, I mean, it doesn't have to be a mono behavior is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, can't do events. Let's say let's pick. And okay, so we'll make this. Let's pick Raycaster, and it will just want any old auto controller. Alright, so mouse pick equals controller dot components get or register. Okay, now this, yeah, we're gonna need to make a separate this is a little awkward. So I'm trying to use the scene components, but I don't know. Like I said, I wanted each scene component to have its own enumeration. But really the problem let's open this up. Is this map, like this data class doesn't really have any logic in it, which is all well and good, but the things in the map namespace are going to be happening in both the play and the team building. Team building scenes. Yeah, I guess I'll just need to have a separate component list. I've never had to do something like this with this framework. I guess the best way to do it would be in the game component. So the global components will have the map components. Okay, yeah, so I guess that's how I'll have to do it. It's a little strange, but so controller, game components, get component registry. Okay, so let's add another enumeration in here. Maybe this is going to be more trouble than it's worth, and I should just put them all in one big enumeration. Because really the only bad thing about having them all in one enumeration is back when we had to do the interface stuff, and we could have like drop down with a huge list. And I guess in that case we should just have a separate like enumeration just for the UI. I think that's probably a better way to go. Oh, let's. Because otherwise we're going to get quite convoluted if we ever have to reuse a controller in multiple scenes. Okay, so we've got the global components. Alright, so mouse pick. And I guess I'll just rename this. I'll still have a separate like components for the server, but for the game logic, I think it'll be fine like this. Component keys. All right. So mouse pick. It should be get or register. And I'll just use the scene component for now, because even if we switch from the team controller to the play controller, we can just recreate this event, because there'd be no mouse picking during the transition, so that should be fine. Okay. So anyway, this will need... So we're going to need to have a public void update function. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to add in here, let's see. So the game has this ticking list, which is basically just an update, but I kind of wanted to be able to sort the list. So I think that this iTicking should also have a priority function. Where'd the game go? Alright. And so, yeah, whenever we add or remove something from this list, we'll resort the list. So private bool tickings need refresh. And it's basically the same as the Unity update function, but I wanted to have a different name to kind of separate them. So tickings need refresh equals true. Alright, so all we have to do here is before we call these functions, if tickings need refresh, false. Okay, so then we'll need to sort. Why is it not popping up? Oh, okay, so I don't use this in normal list. Well, that can be fixed. But first, we'll need a private static void order tickings. And I'll just return 0 for now. Surprised I didn't have to implement this myself. Or implement it to be part of the list. 'Cause I think, isn't this... It implements iList, I guess there's not a sorting. Is there an iSortable? So yeah, if is iteration locked, then we can't sort, obviously. Right. Okay, and then we just call the list.sort. Okay, yeah, so it's this is actually a comparer. Or is it? Yeah, it's a comparison. Comparison is a delegate. Yeah. Oops. Okay, so just pass this over here. Oh, right. Okay, because it's a generic list, so. Is it happy? Oh, it should be static int. Okay. So now we just return. So if it has a lower priority, then it should be first in the list. So a dot get tick priority minus b dot get tick priority. And then the way this works, if you're not familiar with sorting functions, is if this integer returns a negative number, then that means A should go before B in the list. If it returns 0, then that means we don't really care the order that A and B are in. And if it returns a positive number, then A should go after B in the list. Alright, so I think we're all good there, and now we should also have, I don't know, maybe a ticking priority class. It's actually an enum. So let's say input should go first, and then we'll just have normal priority, and we can add more as time goes on. Alright, so now instead of having to have a separate update function, I can just use the normal iTicking. Okay, so return integer ticking priority dot input. Oh. I really wish I could set this. Okay, and then we got ticking janitor. So the only problem about this is that adding and removing objects from the tick list does have a bit of overhead now. But I think all in all it's worth it. Right, so this will just handle registering us and unregistering us from the tick list whenever the scene becomes active. Okay, and now at this point, we got raycast hit equals physics dot raycast. Okay. So I think one thing we're going to need here is the camera. Trying to decide how lazy or not I want to be with this. Let's look and see, how do I do this in the moddable chess game? Not right now. Just look it up real quick. Where is it? Player selection raycaster, okay. Okay, so yeah, I did use the main camera. Okay, so I guess that's what I'll do here. If pivot camera, main camera, it's kind of quote Unity-ish, but we can always just have this camera. We can make it a component if we have to change things in the future. Then we also need the layer mask. So this will just be, well, I guess I'll just call it mask. Okay, so now I can move this over. Layer mask name to layer. Okay, so we do need the mask and then also the actual layer. Oh, because that's how I could tell if it hit a board or a monster. Okay. We'll wait to do that. So we'll actually just say mask equals layer mask, get mask. Okay, so could do something like this and just say field and then monster, but I feel like it's not a good idea to hard code in these layer names. How do I want to do this? Maybe this should be a mono behavior after all. If for no other reason. I don't really like that. Just trying to decide. I guess we can just always have some helper class. Let's see. So let's just not worry about it for now. I'll hard code it in and we can switch it up. Alright, so right now we don't even care about monsters, so it's kind of making a big deal about nothing, but I'm trying to think ahead for this project. Alright, so we do raycast, and then how we take care of this part is we take main camera, screen to ray, and then we take input dot mouse position. Do we need an I want to just give it a mask. Okay. Oh, I see how I did it. Okay, so I do need to have a max distance. Let's put 10 for now. Okay, so if hit, oh well, this is already true. So physics raycast returns true if it hits something, and so how we get so yeah, we actually need to call the oh yeah, so we'll need to call that query to get the space index. So private query, so it will return an index after we give it a vector 2 for the UV. Okay, so first what we want to do is see if, I guess it doesn't matter what. In the future we'll want to make sure that we actually hit the field object and not a monster, but for now we'll just assume, of course, because we're not supporting monsters yet. Okay, so float, actually int space equals UV to space index, and then all I have to do is say hit text chord. Then I'll go ahead and debug log space, and if space is greater than or equal to 0, then we set mouse pick set select space. Otherwise we'll call mouse pick set select none, or how about nothing? That makes more sense. Alright, and then all we'll do here is say set select none and -1. Okay. So now let's try this out. Gotta get the play controller and add it here. So we just say new X map field raycast. Okay, so let's see what happens now. Oh, we got it. Oh. Why are there 2 mouse pick raycasters? Okay, I'll just reload this. Oh, it must have. This is the one that. Okay, it must have gotten duplicated when I was moving the files around. Okay, let's try to press play. Oh, something else. Safe message does not implement. Oh, okay. So I just need to call public int get tick priority, and these would basically want to go last, so I'll just return some big number. If this causes a problem, I mean, this number should probably be modifiable, but just for now, we're not even using those. Okay, anything else? Okay. Nothing's coming up. Okay, so let's, I know also I had a debug, which I think will help tell what's going on with the raycaster. I'll go ahead and add that in this game as well. Oh, well, the reason, actually, I'm surprised it's not throwing an error. Oh, well, we're just lucky because the mask, nothing is set with this mask right now, but it should throw an error in the future because this is null. Just copy and paste in some more stuff. Alright. Now we'll be able to visualize what's going on with the raycaster at least. Ooh, it's not going at all. Okay, well, I just saw one other thing I need to change. This is not convex. Okay. Interesting. So since it's not raycasting, that means this function is not being called. Okay, let's just do something like this. No, in the game, did I forget something here? Oh no, I did set the false, okay. So let's see if we get any tick messages. Nope, not yet. Do we get anything here? Created. This will probably get spammed, but okay, so it does get created, but it's not getting called, or the tick function is not getting called. So that either means ticking janitor is not being activated, or I messed up here somewhere. Oh, actually, it's because the game link needs to call this tick function. So void update, and then we call game tick. So now, yeah, we got spammed by stuff. But yeah, now you can see, if you see this blue line over here, that's the raycaster. It's interesting, it doesn't, oh, it might just be the camera, the perspective in the scene view. Yeah, but see when we go over the, this is yellow, it's actually too far, I think, to reach it. You can see it kind of go through the mesh right there. Alright, so we don't need this anymore. Just figured out why it wasn't running. Alright. So one thing we notice is that probably this distance needs to be longer. And also I need to set the collider tag to be the field. So where did I do that? File. Or no, it isn't edit. Project settings, tags and layers. And then we got layer right here. I'm going to set this to field. And then in this prefab we need to, well, no, let's not do that. We'll set that when we load it. So game object, layer, goes layer mask. Okay, well, we'll set this here because the user probably, I'm not sure actually how the asset bundles would handle a layer name, so it's just better this way, I think. But I'm probably going to need to also set the layer of its children. Child and game object get components and children, and we'll just look for a mesh collider. So child game object layer equals its parent's layer. Okay, because the layer doesn't propagate down children. Okay, well, interesting. We're still not colliding, but we can see the raycast is definitely long enough to hit everything. Okay, so it did set this, but it didn't set this layer. I'll just do it manually so we can test. Okay, we can see that it does hit it, and then it, so the raycast turns red because we hit the field, and then we do get the error because, like I said, we haven't set the query object yet. Oops, don't want to open that. So first, why isn't this working? Oh, because it should be get components and children. Okay, so let's just test that real quick. Alright, so it does work out of the box. Okay, so the next thing we gotta do is a raycast UV to space, and this is what's going to implement the that query for us. Void. And this will have also an autocontroller. Okay, and we'll get controller dot get or register. Oh, controller components get or register. It'll just be a query of type. Okay, so one thing I noticed with these queries is I always have to change the type arguments as we go through programming. So think I'm gonna just make a subclass. So this will be uv2 space query. I don't know if anybody would remember from the moddable chess game, but we ended up having to change the find movement position query types like 4 or 5 times during development. Alright. And so this just extends query int and yeah, we give it a vector 2, of course. I think I'll need to make a constructor which just calls base. And then I should make a static creator as well. What's not like? Oh, that's fine. So the reason I had to do that is because the query object also has a static create function. So if I name it the same thing, I'd hide the other one. And so I have to put this new keyword there to say that that's what I want to do. Alright, so now we can just say uv2 space query. Int component keys. And this will be uv2 space query. Set the handler to our function. Alright, so I don't want to void there because this is a constructor. So we have the UV. Okay, so we can close all but this. Okay, so yeah, I don't have anything made so far. So basically what we need to do, we also need public int width. So the UVs are float and 0, and basically they map the texture from 0 to 1, where 0, 0 is the top left and 1, 1 is the bottom right, or it could be some other. Well, anyway, so 0, 0 is one corner, 0 and 1, 1 is the other corner. And so what we want to do is convert that to a pixel, which obviously are integers. So we have the width, so int pixel width. I guess we'll need this field rate calculator. Which we'll get from the game database. So database, field raycast, width, and then int pixel height. Spell pixel. And this is equal to the database field raycast space at pixels length divided by pixel width. and it should go into it exactly. I guess an easier way would be if we actually just have an int vector 2 here with pixel dimensions. I mean, technically the height is redundant, but I think it will be okay. Okay, so now int vector 2 dimensions equals database field raycast pixel dimensions, and so our int vector 2 pixel coordinate. Okay, let's actually just do vector 2. Coordinate equals, so how it works is mathf, we don't even need to do that, we just do dimensions dot x times uv dot x. We'll do vector 2, and then dimensions dot y times uv dot y. And then we'll need to round to the nearest integer. So pixel chord is new int vector 2 mathf. Alright, so this just rounds the coordinates we got here to the nearest pixel. And then all we need to do is return database field raycast dot space at pixel chord x plus pixel chord y times dimensions dot x. So and the reason we have to add these like this is because these space at pixels basically maps a two-dimensional array into one dimension, and so one easy way to do that is just thinking of you put in one full row, and then when on the next row, which would be y equals 1, goes after that row, and so on and so forth. So I think that's all I gotta do here. Okay, well I guess let's just play and see what... Oh no, it's still gonna be null. I need to... First of all I gotta get the database, and then I need to create this class in the controller. Oh, we won't register. So game data... Component keys. Okay. So new fields are raycast UV to space. Alright, this is in the map. Okay, so now let's try it. Component. Okay, so there's nothing in the database right now, which is a bit strange, because this should set it. Oh, it's set in the game component, I bet. Yeah, I was looking in the scene components. Okay, so, oh, still got something. Object not set to an instance. Oh, did I not reference this yet? Okay. It's an easy fix. base index equals controller components. UV to space query. Same thing. And then we create it here just to be safe. Oh, I forgot to stop playing. Okay. So yeah, 0. Oh, okay, that's disappointing. It stays 0. No matter where we move to. Okay. Well, we haven't really done any debugging. Is it all 0? Yeah. So I guess it was too much to hope for it to work first try. Okay, so let's actually be a little more descriptive here. String format. Alright, so space, raycast, text chord. Okay, so I know one annoying thing about vector 2s is it's only gonna give us one decimal place for the for the texture coordinate, which isn't good for our UV. So let's I forget the syntax here. Hey Storm, yeah, thanks for coming. It's no problem. Alright, I think, is it F2? I always get it confused because it's slightly different in different languages. Yeah, so this will probably give us an error, but I'll just try it. Oh, I'm pretty good. Okay, actually it did work the first time. I'm getting quite a bit of work done, so can't complain. Okay, so obviously the space isn't right, but if you watch the texture coordinate down here, it does look like it's giving us the correct values. Actually, yeah, it is. So we can see, okay, so this is 1, 0. Over here is 1, 1. That's good to know. And this is 0, 0. Alright. Alright, Storm, good to hear. Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like much, but I'm pretty happy with what I've gotten done today so far. I just wish it would give us the correct value over here. Alright, so I guess next thing to do is see what values it gives us. Oh, I think it's because I don't set this dimension. Okay, so maybe something's better than nothing. That's definitely true, Storm. Okay, so let me think a better way to do this. This won't return anything, and we'll just pass it the field raycast collider. So you're very optimistic. It's always good. I guess you're. That's what happens when you don't have a bad day. Okay, so we won't return anything. We'll just set collider space at pixel to the space at pixel. And then collider dot pixel dimensions equals new text width, text height. Okay. So that should fix the problem. Oh, except, right. So database field raycasts. Okay. Call it a medium day. Alright, well, better than nothing. Oh, okay, now it's the number is changing. Okay, so this is space 2, space 4, 5, 3. Oh, cool. Had some good and bad things like classes, good things like friends. I think it's too much to ask for our day to be perfect, so. Alright, so one thing, let's see if I can get this to work. Might be interesting if we make the, because like in an actual game the collider wouldn't be flat. So let's see if I can figure out how to change this a little. Okay, Control R. And then Control R. Alright, and then I'll change to editing, vertices. So I want to deselect everything, please. There we go. Okay, so yeah, if we test this, oh, okay, I need to save it again. All right. So does it still work right? So it looks like it. I guess if we turn this, kind of look, okay, let's change it. Look at it. Oh, if it's underneath we can't actually see the texture, but we can see it does stop. Oops. Let's center on that monster. Right, and I can get to the yellow part. Okay, and then I guess one other thing, right, the collider is matching the curved model. Cool, so that's what I wanted to make sure. Alright. Okay, so that's one project down. What's next on the list? Okay. Oh, well, of course, we should try to place the monster onto one of the spaces. How about me? Good day? Yeah, it's been pretty good. Mostly just been working all day, so nothing that interesting. Well, I wouldn't say I've been doing nothing I like, but it's still just a normal work day. Okay, so one thing we need to do, I guess now, we really need to figure out how we're going to set all the information for each space, because we really need some way that we can mark like the center, or not necessarily the center, but the position that a monster would go to stand on each space. I'm not really sure how to do that. I guess let's so we got the center world position. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I think I'll give myself a day to think about that. We'll just put in some dummy data in here for now. So right now we make 3 spaces, but we know that there's actually 6. And it goes by, it starts over here, so I think 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it numbered it. What I'm trying to look for right here. So for int I equals 0, I less than 6. Okay, so I think it'll be prototype 0 if I equals 0, otherwise I'll just set it to 1. And the reason is because prototype 0 will be unmovable. Oops, why do I keep wanting to say I? And then outgoing paths we don't know yet. Statistics, just empty. And the center world position. So I'm gonna kind of cheat here. Y we'll put it above, and Z will just stay on 0. Oh, thanks Storm for the offer, but I think I'm fine with what I've got now. I'm used to using them, so. Alright, so field spaces add space. Alright. Snow monster is at position 4, and I think it should place it right there. Oh, where is the monster? Okay, so it's at 8. So that's so yeah, it's on 4. Okay, so that is kind of right. I guess this is a little too big, isn't it? Alright, so the monster is supposed to be on space number 4, which is this red one. Well, that coincidentally works out pretty well, but alright, Storm, I will, thanks. Okay, so I guess another thing we can do is for the monster creator, we should go ahead and create a Or why don't we go ahead and let the monsters be selectable? Spelled that wrong. Monster. Okay. Right, so we kind of need to just look through. We need to set any object with a mesh collider to this field layer. Instantiate game object. And then game object dot layer equals layer mask, name to layer monster. What do I do in my job? Oh, I'm a software contractor, so I just write other software. Sometimes games, but not always. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I guess I'll just test it to see. Okay, so it did set that, but of course the capsule doesn't have a collider, so. I wonder if it would let me. Let's do that. That would be even better. Interesting. Oh no, it didn't set it. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't have a collider. I thought it had a capsule collider or something. Guess I'll just see if this works now. Okay, it does, thankfully. Hey actress, thanks for coming by. Storm, after a while it gets boring, doesn't it? Well, sometimes I enjoy programming, but yeah, after a while I do get bored of the same project. Thanks for the follow, actress. Alright, let's see. Do I like Pokemon? Oh, definitely. Actually, when the newest ones came out, that was basically my game for a couple months. Hack Pokemon Go? Well, good luck. Don't have much experience there. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, so now we need to go back to the mouse choosing. Well, I can help you. I mean, I don't mind to help you learn some programming, but I don't think I'm the right person to ask about hacking Pokemon Go. Sorry to say. Set select monster. Right. So monster index. Do I use GitHub? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I even set up an account just for this channel. Alright, so where's the recast? Right here. Okay, so yeah, now we need to check the layer for sure. Private and field layer equals layer mask name to layer field. Oh, can I type? You're on Linux, so cool. Yeah, I still use Windows, but it's just easier. I've been thinking about switching to Linux for a while now, or at least having a dual boot, but haven't gotten around to it. Right, so if hit game object. Oh, do I not have a game object here? Hit collider game object layer equals field layer. You grew up, you want to be a hacker. And I said black. I'm not sure I get that joke entirely, but alright, so field layer. Alright, so then we do that. Okay. Otherwise, so we'll need to get the monster index somehow. Oh, you can't get Windows? How come? Oh, is it not? Oh yeah, I forgot that they timed the free upgrade option, so that is a problem. It is kind of expensive. Okay, so I need to have some other class here. Alright, so I'm just going to delete this object because we don't need it. And this should actually be on the map. And then we'll need another class here, which is, I don't know, monster collider. Oops, I didn't mean to put that underscore. Or actually with apostrophe. Oh, you're on Ubuntu, you got Windows 10 on a DVD disk? Oh, but it won't load for you? Tactical Lizard Tamer. So here we'll have private int monster index. And I think that's about all I'll need. I guess I should put a mono behavior. Oh, okay, Storm, that does make more sense actually. Yeah, now that I think about it, I had heard those terms. Just after programming for 2 hours, my brain tends to, I guess, not get jokes. Anyway, where's the thing I was doing right here? Okay, so so now we need to get the monster collider. So hit equals hit collider get component. Alright, I'm not gonna test if this is null because it should always be there. Is Windows 7 good? I liked it. Use WinRAR, well, that's very useful, Storm. Did you even buy it? Real talk though, I don't know anybody who actually bought that program. And Windows 7, I did use it for, I'm trying to remember how long. I skipped the Windows 8, so I just went from 7 to 10, and it was pretty good. I like Windows 10, but it's like, it causes some problems on my computer, so I'd almost, yeah, WinZip, WinRAR. It's kind of confusing that they named it that actually. Anyway, let's get back to this programming so we can finish this up. Okay, so basically we just say mouse pick set select monster, and then monster dot. Okay, there we go. And then we need to set this monster index in the creator. Where is this? Yeah, so this won't be the final class actually, I just realized. But so now we'll set game object dot add component monster model. Why is it not showing up? Oh, it's monster collider. I prefer 10 to 7. Yeah, I prefer 10 as well, even though it does have a few problems. Like it causes my computer to crash every once in a while. Sorry, hard to hunt. Whatever you posted, you can't do links in Twitch chat. Oh really, Storm? So Pro is crashing your PC, but Home doesn't? That's interesting. Because I've been having crashes on my computer periodically ever since I upgraded to Windows 10. I wonder if it's the same type of thing. Wait, what am I doing? I don't need to add a component key. Okay. Alright, so monster index equal. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting. We don't just have one index for the monster. Okay, hard to hunt. I don't mind you guys talking about it, but you probably shouldn't post links to that kind of stuff here. Maybe you can private message. Oh, I haven't crashed it because your computer was a toaster. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Right now, the problem is we don't just have one number that refers to a monster because the monsters are all set up into a team. So maybe the field should also just have a list of monsters, and then the teams will actually have a list of integers to the monster IDs. So okay, so now I don't need this. I actually do need the integer now, or the index for I equals 0, I less than battle, field, monsters, count. Okay. Monster equals battlefield, monsters, I. And then just set that there. Okay. For my PC, the first time I turned it on after a quick reboot. Oh wow. We all gotta start somewhere. Alright, so now we gotta go back to the mouse raycasting, which I always forget is down here. Okay, so now this works. Let's add a debug. Find the parts for a new supercomputer. It's always fun. It's just something cool about building a new computer. Okay, and there's no texture cord, obviously. Monster. Okay, so let's see if this works. And well, that does look like it'll be pretty good. Oh yeah, it's gonna complain here. Okay, so this is just an int. So player team add 0. And then we actually will add this to the field now. Yeah, that's fine. Have you been able to buy most of it yet, Storm? Alright, so, okay, something's wrong. Okay, so monster is null. I thought I... Oh, because I need to add it to the collider object. Okay. And then... Okay, so this should be good. You know, an emulator for Pokemon Go? Wow, that's pretty interesting. Oh, they don't make that motherboard anymore? That's disappointing. Oh yeah, the case, well that's a good start. Okay. Oh, there we go. So we got the first monster. Oh, except now it's... Oh, it's just the list isn't going down. Okay, so space 5, 4, now I move over the monster. Alright. Cool, we finished pretty much all the mouse picking, so... Alright, well I guess I better get going, but thanks everybody for watching. And yeah, we had a lively chat today, so that was really nice. Thanks everybody for that as well. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow at 5 Eastern, and we'll continue on. I think I'm going to try and figure out how I want the mod creators to be able to place the center points of spaces and other data, so. Is this game similar to Pokemon Go? Not really, it's more like the Game Boy Pokemon games. But anyway, alright, thanks again everybody, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.